setting up for part 3, you guys. It's going to be quite something special, I do believe. We'll get through the rest of these books, talking about Beltane. I've been reading all day on the topic and subject. It's been quite something. And I continue to spend, I plan to spend the rest of the day with you guys talking about Beltane. Now, when it turns to dusk, that's when I have to do the majority of my magics. Hi, Floramel, how are you? Hi, Mario, nice to see you. So, we are getting some things done around here. Got the maypole behind me. We've been in a couple of places today talking about Beltane. And honestly, today, tomorrow, and the next day are my absolute 3 favorite days of the year. So, make sure that you have a cup of tea poured. Make sure that you have a candle lit. Or 2. And let's get down to some Ruskin and reading. We've read out of all of my many books today on Beltane, and now we're down to the last book, The Magical Year, which we've been popping in and out of. And so many things have come up in this book, I can't wait to get back to it. So here we are. So we are reading through The Magical Year, and this is by an author called Danu Forest. You have to go to bed soon. I know, for you it is truly Beltane for you, Mario. So we left off talking about... We did the Magical May Tree. Did we talk about Holy Wells yet? I don't think we did. I think that we left off with... We read the Magical May Tree, and I know that because it says Beltane was traditionally held at the first full moon after the flowering hawthorn. And I talked about that a lot in the last video, about how that's a second thing that I'm going to celebrate right there next to, April 30th and May 1st. These are the times when the veil is the thinnest, but in the past, it was when the hawthorn tree would flower. It would be the first full moon after that. So to me, that's something really special that I want to practice on my own because it's an old world tradition. It's that, that real folk magic. And that's what I really like to focus on. So, we talked about the Magical May Tree. And so now we're on to paying honor to the sacred hawthorn. Hawthorns, which we just learned that the only time that you should keep hawthorn or lilac in your house is on May Eve or May Day. These are the only times that it's safe for them to be in the house. Otherwise, you really should keep them outside of the home. They become unlucky otherwise. Hawthorns are easily identified due to their craggy bark, C-R-A-G-G-Y bark, small multi-lobed leaves, and the pink or white blossoms they bear at this time. Beltane is a good time to visit a hawthorn with an offering of fresh or bottled spring water. Or, more traditionally, to make a wish and tie a ribbon or cloth known as a clootie, C-L-O-O-T-I-E, or clootie, to one of its branches. Traditionally, only hawthorns next to hollywells or springs were used in this way. And the cloth was first dipped into the water and then used to soothe a person's forehead, again right over the spot where the third eye is. Hi, Rhythm Spirit. Hi from the Dark Pole. Hi, everybody. So if you choose to tie a kludi onto a hawthorn tree, be sure to use biodegradable cloth, and after a month return and untie it so that you do no harm. Use your own words for your wish or prayer. This ritual is best practiced with trees in your own garden or land rather than ones in public areas where you may encourage others to follow your example with less responsibility. It is important that we honor and continue our traditions, but in the modern era, we also need to take a greater environmental perspective into consideration and allow this to inform our practices where relevant. And now we're going to move on to a Beltane love spell, but I've thought of a better camera angle so that I don't have to bend over quite so much. Thank you for joining me on this lovely, lovely May Day Eve. I really like to be in the space where all of my herbs are, and since I didn't take my herbs out on the last full moon, I'm definitely taking them out on Beltane. Beltane and Samhain, I believe, are some of the most precious times to be blessing our herbs. Out in the lovely night sky. Okay, I think we'll be good there. Here we go. Oh, that's not better. I'm trying to avoid the mess on the floor, but it's just not going to happen. There we go. I'll just stand. We'll just stand and talk. A Beltane love spell. This spell will bless and strengthen an existing relationship or draw a new one to you. Take a bowl of fresh or bottled spring water and a candle colored green or pink, the colors of Venus, the planet of love. Using a knife, inscribe a heart into the candle or the name of your lover. What do you want to bring to you? Focus your intention, asking in your own words what love, that love come your way, or that your existing love be strengthened. Then, when you are ready, light the candle with a fresh match and say, do you guys always wonder why matches are so important to me? And say, I light this candle that the spirits of Beltane, I light this candle that the spirits of Beltane bless me. May I know love. May I be loved. May I be loving in return. May the wisdom of the heart guide me. Great goddess and God, bless the love in my life. I like that. That's really special. Let the candle burn down safely. As the candle burns, so the magic ripples out and across the worlds, come back to you, manifested when its work is done. Blessed be. Now we're going to talk about holy wells, and we are reading out of the magical year, particularly on the Beltane chapter. Holy wells. Natural springs and holy wells were reserved as deeply sacred places in the Celtic tradition and have been honored as far back as Neolithic times. These were places belonging to the spirits and most commonly to feminine goddesses, thought of as life-giving and as dangerous and to be feared. Celtic pneumatons, or sacred groves, were often sited at wells and springs, and received all manner of offerings, from the heads of heroes and enemies to precious swords and votive statues. In later Celtic traditions, these places received offerings of flowers and coin, becoming the wishing wells we know of today. Hi, Rhythm Spirit. How are you? It's nice to see you. The tradition of making offerings of flowers to holy wells has continued through the times of Celtic Christianity, during which the goddesses were usually demoted into saints, right through into the present day. This custom is known as well dressing and can be an extravagant affair. In the peak district villages of Derbyshire, as well as other rural parts of Britain, well dressing involves making a picture of the local goddess, now mostly thought of as Britannia, over the arching spirit of the land, out of flowers pressed into damp clay to keep them fresh. Symbolic items relating to fertility and goddess lore, such as seashells and pine cones, are also added, as well as prayers of national slogans. These again invoke the goddess of the land, albeit subconsciously for some. Through the pagan threads of this practice are becoming more oblivious again in our era. The offering is often then paraded through the town and placed with great pageantry by the waters, with many onlookers and May Day pilgrims in attendance. So that all sounds really fun. And now we're on to talking about the abios. And this is the abios. Okay, the abios, or hobby horse, is another ancient figure associated with Beltane. He takes part in May Day festivals across southwest UK, most famously at Padstow in Cornwall, where a special song rings out across the town as he dances through the streets to the pounding rhythm of the drums. Abioses can also be seen at Barnstaple and Combe Martin in Devon, and Minehead in Somerset, and are now being reawakened in other parts of the country. A strange figure. It is a strange figure. It looks like a dining table with a table skirt and then just like a cone with a hat on top of it. I'm not really quite sure. The abios, or hobby horse, which sounds like a British accent, right? And so Cornwall. A strange figure, the abios doesn't look like a horse, but instead has the appearance of a large black witch's hat. That's exactly what it looks like, is a large black witch's hat. Skirted with a black cloth, with a stylized horse face attached. The men of the town take turns carrying his wicker form, embodying the os, the spirit of wild fertility, which bucks and spins around the town, sometimes chasing the women and teenage girls. Once the abios used to mark all he touched with a thin layer of soot for the day, and it was said that this conferred fertility and would ensure any woman so distinguished would become pregnant. These costumes' strange shape is intended to be a disguise, the pointed head perhaps hiding the thorn of a unicorn, perhaps. Maybe I could read it like this. Perhaps hiding the thorn of a unicorn. Where am I? An ancient magical creature of sexual potency and the friend of all maidens. Friend of all maidens, I'm sure. You might like to try a Beltane pilgrimage to one of the villages where he is still honored to catch a glimpse for yourself and partake of this wild revelry. Or make one to use yourself and revive this magic in your own hometown. Now, this sounds like planting cucumber seeds on this day to me. Maybe you're going to make your own abios. I don't know what you do, but whatever. I love you anyway. All right, honoring the gift of water. This Beltane, try to seek out a well, a spring, or a river near you. Coming from a river near you, you guys. and see if you can learn some of its history, its old names, and its traditions. The local library can help for this. I'm always telling you guys to go to your local library and see what they've got. Hi, Maddie. How are you? Hi, Nello. It looks frightening. I know, it does look frightening, right? A little bit Stephen King-esque. So go to a river near you. Prepare a gift of flowers for the ancient spirit of this body of water. And I love the fact that we think of bodies of water as spirited. So much energy goes from there through there, between animals that go there to look for food, between people that go there to bathe, between animals that go there to drink, to the change in the river during the seasons. If there's a lot of rain, it will get higher and more powerful, and if there's little rain, it will trickle and just be dry and almost dormant. And I think that all of these energies you can use. If you go and collect water from a stream when it's just flourishing and like too much, that's one energy. If you go and collect it from that same stream when it's the middle of summer and dried out and drizzly, that's another energy, right? You can use those for different things. But here it's talking about preparing a gift of flowers to the ancient spirit of this body of water. So important to those who lived on the land before us. Also consider the uses and essential nature of the water, precious for all, yet scarce for so many on earth. In what ways can you honor it? You might, for example, want to make a commitment or use eco-friendly cleaning products or give a gift to a water charity. In this way, we can use Beltane as a way of expanding our hearts to become more eventually aware, as well as honoring water as the element most associated with our emotions and our deepest feelings, and the fact that our bodies are mostly water. It really honors water itself and our being. Nella says, I've been taking notes. That's awesome! I'm so happy. I know I'm talking too fast to actually take notes, but I feel like there are times when I watch videos and I push pause if I'm trying to write everything down. I'm really happy that you're doing that. That's why I wanted to read from every single book I had on Beltane today, even if that took the lot of the day, which it's been taking the lot of the day. I have a lot of books. Joyce Jordan, you're here! Oh my gosh, happy Beltane! I love you, Joyce. Guy named Turtle, hey, what's up? So happy you guys are here. So we're reading about Beltane. If you don't know what Beltane is, it's exactly 6 months away from Halloween, where the veil's the thinnest. That is also today too. But to me, it's a more special day than Halloween because it's less observed by Muggles. So it seems like more of our day. Alright, so now we're going to go on to talk a Beltane chant, I believe. Oh no, we're still honoring the gift of the water. When you visit your local well, spring, or river, take some time to just sit by it and feel the atmosphere of the place, as well as allowing some space for your own feelings and the promptings of your heart to surface. By creating an opportunity for some quiet, sacred moments, we allow ourselves to get into greater contact with ourselves, as well as reflect in a clearer way upon our relationships. So again, this is a really good time to be doing shadow work, self-reflecting, self-love, self-improvement, goals. All good activities for a deeper understanding of Beltane and its unique spirit. For the longest time before I was into witchcraft, Halloween was always my favorite holiday, and there wasn't any really reason except for the fact that we get to dress up and pretend to be somebody else for just one day. But this is now my favorite day because I'm understanding how the veil works, and for me this is even more fun than Samhain or Halloween. Okay, so now we're talking about a Beltane chant. The Padstow, Padstow, Mayday song is very old and very long and has two versions. One for the night and one for the day. Awesome. You can listen to different recordings of this tune online if you visit YouTube. Really? Oh, goodness. Oh, I pray that you're okay over there in Oklahoma, hun. And if you were going to have a Beltane storm, that would be some amazing time to work magic if there was lightning or thunder or great winds. Or you had your menses. These are great things that can add to your magical workings. I'm just saying, and I'm not being funny about the menses thing. These are amazing things to completely amplify what's going on during the day. Hey, keeping it so real, Salinas. How are you? Nice to see you. Yes, happy Beltane. You can listen to different recordings of the tune online if you visit YouTube, but this abridged version works well as a chant to use as part of your own Beltane celebrations and practice. Try singing it under the full moon or around a Beltane fire to draw the old magic of the season. Okay, I love that. So we're reading a Beltane chant, and we're in the magical year by Danu Forest. Okay. Here's the chant. Unite, unite, let us all unite, for the summer is a-coming today. And whither we are going, we all unite in this merry morning of May. And that's something that you just repeat over and over. Unite, unite, let us all unite, for the summer is a-coming today. And whither we are going, we all will unite in the merry morning of May. Unite, unite, let us all unite. Let's say it together, you guys. Unite, unite, let us all unite, for the summer is coming today. And whither we are going, we will all unite in the merry morning of May. That's gorgeous. I like that a lot. Okay, now we're on to the section that's talking about Celtic star lore at Beltane. Okay, as we've read in most of this, and all of the other books that we read from over and over, we're talking about how it's a Celtic holiday. But it is very much a part of the Wheel of the Year in Witchcraft Wicca. Beltane sees the change of the seasons become visible in earnest even in the night sky. In the northern hemisphere, as the evening progresses, the very top of Orion, the hunter, can still be seen, as can his faithful hound Sirius in the southwest. To the west of this, above Orion, is the constellation of Cancer, the crab. This grouping of 5 stars is rather like a downward-facing Y, and its 3 legs point south, southwest, and north. Low in the southeast horizon during the spring evenings of April and May, it is the brilliant jewel Spica, its name meaning ear of wheat. This star is part of the constellation of Virgo, the maiden goddess who comes into the greater importance at this time of year, and she is ritually wed to make the world fertile once again. Holding the ear of wheat, she carries the abundance of the crops to come and has the ability to provide for her people and the seeds of the future. That thunder, though, Joyce, is some of the most intense energy that we can work with. And I came upon some thunder when I was there in Texas, and that was one thing I was excited about. Because here in Seattle, I might see it twice a year. You know, maybe. I might go a year without seeing it as well. Hearing it, seeing the lightning. And we had thunder and lightning both in Texas. So, okay. Once the word, wait, where are we at? While she provides for all, she is also virgin, inviolate, and sovereign in herself. Once the word virgin did not mean without sexual experience, rather an unattached free woman. And here we see Virgo bringing in the greener of the year via her own productive power, the equal of her lover in both power and desire. Such, she can be understood in the Celtic tradition as Danu, goddess of fertility and fecundity, and the mother of the gods. Another figure in Celtic myth that fulfills this role is Queen Maeve of Ireland. She's associated with great sexual appetite and with cattle, and so also with Beltane, which occurs during the sign of Taurus, the bull. Below Virgo are the smaller constellations of Corvus, the crow, and the crater of the cup. The crow is the great importance of the Celtic traditions as messenger of the gods. I love that the crow is the messenger of the gods. That's fantastic. Hey, Sherry Bug, you're back. Oh, of course. Of course, Sherry Bug. Nina, Bobina. Wow, banana fan of Bobina. Soothing, I'm glad. Hey, Mandy. Oh, right. Mandy, did you see that you were nominated to be, did you see that you were nominated for the May Queen? Did you watch that video? Make sure you vote. Okay, so now we are on to Beltane's Stellar Meditation, honoring the fertility to come. Okay, now fertility, remember you guys, it doesn't have to mean get pregnant and have a baby. Fertility can mean almost like abundance in something, or yeah, make sure to watch the video before this, even if you leave this video and come right back. It's like a 5-minute video, and I'm just talking about the nominees for the May Queen. We have to decide in the next, like, 8 hours. And whoever gets the most votes is the May Queen, and then they get to do a video tomorrow and say, oh, I'm so happy, thanks for all the nominations. And then next year I can be added to the bill. But since I made up the election, I'm not going to be added to the bill. So yeah, we've got a lot of people, and the video describes everything. Okay, so the Beltane Stellar Meditation, honoring the fertility to come. And again, fertility can mean a fertile garden, a fertile work year, a fertile, happy family. It doesn't have to mean pregnancy of any sort, okay? This meditation explores the constellation of Virgo, the maid goddess, to align with her great fertility and vigor and her lovers, the dark and light parts of the year itself. She holds all the potential for the year ahead in her womb, and her passionate sexuality will bring the crops to fruition across the land. As the wheel turns and her lover, the Lord of Summer, comes into ascendancy, her great kundalini, or life force, will bring us renewed energy and enthusiasm, as well as increasing our ability to create and bring new life and blessings into our lives. Sitting comfortably, close to your eyes, and close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Let your eyes gently relax behind your closed lids and allow your imagination to sink into the darkness. That wordage right there is great advice onto how to start meditating. I'm going to say it again. Sitting comfortably, and if you're meditating, you're going to want to be sitting up, not laying down. Your spine needs to be erect, and your legs should probably be crossed. And you probably shouldn't be leaning back against anything. If you have a sore back, that's okay. But generally, having the spine just be supported at the base and sitting up yourself will really help. We're doing a male on Samhain. So we're going to have the King of Samhain and the May Queen. So in 6 months, we're going to be doing something for the males that have YouTube videos that are in our circle. Okay. I only say in our circle because, like, if we give it to Lady Grave Dancer, is she going to make a video? I don't know if she'll ever see it. But yes, Nello, if you do videos and you want to be nominated as a male, there will be a Samhain King in 6 months. Or you're talking about May Queen. Still saying integrating myself with each month. I have nothing but time for that. Okay. Alright, sitting comfortably, close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Let your eyes gently relax behind your closed lids and allow your imagination to sink into the darkness. That's just a great way to start a meditation though. Let your breathing deepen and slow naturally. Then expand your awareness to imagine that you are walking along a path of pale stone winding around a vast hill. Above the night sky glitters with stars, and your footsteps are soft upon the soil. The air is still. As you ascend the hill, you see that across the land from the horizon to horizon, a vast network of lakes surround you, reflecting the light of the stars in their still waters. You climb steadily, and as you ascend, I suggest if you're listening to me right now, you close your eyes, because it would just be the more helpful to like visualize it with your eyes closed. So let your breathing slow naturally, and then expand your awareness to imagine that you're walking along a path of palest stone, winding around a vast hill. Above the night sky glitters with stars, and your footsteps are soft upon the soil. The air is still. As you ascend the hill, you see that across the land, from horizon to horizon, a vast network of lakes around you, reflecting the light of the stars in their still waters. You climb steadily as you ascend. A vast crowd of beings meet you. Some of them seem human, but others are part animal and part tree. Birds swoop overhead, and rabbits and deer sit side by side in the grass, but are all silent. At the top of the hill, an amazing sight greets you. The night sky is so huge that it takes up almost all that you can see. The land below is a smooth, dark mirror reflecting its light. Above you, enrobed in glittering stars, as white as blinding snow, sits a woman. She is impossibly tall, her head crowned with stars that glimmer along her silvery hair. Her gown is made of the deepest blue and black of space, studded with constellations like diamonds. In her hands she holds a sheaf of wheat made of spun golden light. And as you stare up into her face, you see her eyes are like vast blue sapphires that remind you of the deepest seas. At once you are overcome with wonder and lower your head from her blinding radiance. And then you notice that on either side of her are two figures dressed like ancient warriors. One wears a red and gold, and the other black and white. They hold long swords and do battle at her feet in graceful, light-footed movements, in ritualized dance. You see that these two beings are eventually matched, neither one stronger than the other. They spin and turn, and the heavens reel overhead, turning the seasons, until one great arc of the sword, the warrior in red and gold, suddenly slays his companion, and with great cheer goes up from all around the hill. The warrior in black and white falls to the ground, but he will rise again, where the seasons turn into winter. In the meantime, the red warrior bows at the lady's feet, and all the hill is full of cheer and shouting, and the beating of drums and the sound of flutes fill the air. The lady smiles, bowing her head and raising her hand in blessing upon all these called here. At this sacred time, immediately you feel a wave of energy, of life, rush across your land, and you tremble in its wake. It feels as if shimmering fire is running up your spine, Kundalini, and you feel like a sudden lightness and excitement tingle in your skin, in your very bones. The red warrior now wears a golden crown, and the air grows warm and shimmers with heat all around him, and those gathered here hail him as the king of summer. Take a while to breathe in the scene, the muse upon what you have seen and felt. The ancient symbolism of this sacred drama speaks not to the mind, but to the spirit. Align your soul's journey with the rhythm of the land and the ancestors. After a while, you sense that it is time to return to everyday world. Give thanks to your heart for what you have experienced, and return the way you have come, down the hill, with every footstep upon the path you descend, to everyday world once more, until your footsteps shift from the soil and earth into stillness, and your breath settles in your chest where you sit. Feel yourself back in your body easily, gently. Hold for a moment the memory of what you have seen and felt. Know it is yours. Always, before wriggling your fingers and toes and opening your eyes as you return to the everyday world, you may need to ground yourself carefully after this exercise by eating and drinking and taking time to feel yourself back into your body. Okay, so that was a really cool Beltane visualization and meditation. I thought that it was absolutely beautiful. And now we're going to talk about gardening magic at Beltane. Okay, April and May are busy months in the garden. Now it is time to sow herb seeds such as dill, coriander, cilantro. You know what? We're going to come back for this, y'all. I have to take a break and set up a different shot in that, and there's loads of other programming going on for Beltane. So please make sure you vote for a queen, for a May Queen. We need to decide tonight. And all of these people, let me just say the names, okay? Here's who's on the May Queen list. Elect a May Queen. This is our first year. So we have Whispering Cauldron. We have Heather Foley. We have Junebug. We have Jen the Willow Wind Witch, Thrifty Witch. Sea Willow, Living Out Loud, Butterfly Magic with Hot Tea, Magical Mandy Punky Doodle, Tangerine Layla the Sleepy Oracle, Dangerous Eyes Tarot, and Linnaeus Corner. So please, on the video that is 2 before this, where it says Elect a May Queen, please put your vote in there, okay? Please put your vote in the comments of that video. And we're all excited. And whoever, if your name is on this list and you do not want to be in the election, put that in the comments as well. And I'll see you guys back really soon. Redman! The King list comes on Halloween. Kings on Halloween, Queens on May Day, okay? So the King list, for all of those in our paranormal community, witchcraft community, spiritual community, it's all the same. I will definitely be nominating you for the King of Samhain. Alright? So, see you guys back whenever I come back. I'm just feeling a little bit drained. But I will be reading the rest of this information tonight. Period. Love y'all. See you soon.